A retired teacher walks into a hospital waiting room expecting a routine checkup and leaves with a life-changing decision that will change everything. Margaret Harris had spent 40 years teaching second grade before retiring. She knew children better than most, but she had no idea how much she'd still have to learn about life. That morning, she walked into the hospital for a routine checkup, her cane tapping gently against the linoleum floors. The waiting room was filled with the usual hum of quiet conversations and the occasional cough. But one sight stopped her cold. In a corner, a young girl no older than 8 sat alone, clutching a tattered stuffed bear. Her dark hair was tangled, her clothes wrinkled, and her eyes, those were the worst. They were hollow, the kind of empty only a child who'd learned to hide her fears could manage. Margaret moved closer. The girl didn't look up. "Are you here with someone, dear?" Margaret asked softly. The girl hesitated, then nodded toward the double doors leading to the emergency rooms. "My mom, she's sick." Margaret glanced at the empty seat beside her. "Where is she?" The girl's voice was barely a whisper. "They took her, but she didn't wake up." Margaret's heart lurched. She knew that feeling, knowing someone you love is in there, but not knowing if they'll come back out. She lowered herself into the chair beside the girl. "What's your name?" "Lily," the girl said, clinging tighter to her bear. "I'm Margaret. Would you like to tell me about your mom?" Lily's lip trembled. "She works 2 jobs." She was coughing a lot. "But we couldn't afford the doctor." Margaret felt the weight of those words like a physical blow. How many times had she seen parents stretch themselves thin just to keep their children fed? Too many. She reached into her purse and pulled out a notebook. "You know, when I was teaching, I used to write down the best parts of my day. Would you like to do that with me?" Lily looked at her, confused. "Why?" Margaret smiled. "Because sometimes writing things down makes them feel real. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help your mom get better." For the next hour, they sat together, filling the pages with simple things: Lily's favorite color, her mom's laugh, the way the sun looked through their kitchen window. A nurse finally emerged, her expression grave. "Mrs. Carter, your mother is very ill. We're going to need to admit her." Lily's breath hitched. Margaret stood, placing a steadying hand on the girl's shoulder. "I'll go with you," she said. The nurse looked surprised. "Ma'am, were you family?" Margaret didn't hesitate. "I am now."